On this episode of Ghost Hunters International, GHI heads to a Belgium fortress to help a woman whose great-grandfather was killed during World War I.
Monsieur Bogart, give us a sign for your great-granddaughter. What the hell was that?
Can the team reach a desperate soldier buried alive?
Something just pulled on my flashlight.
What pushes Joe to the breaking point? A dark entity is chased down.
Hold up, hold up.
Have they found the lost soul from World War I?
I just saw it again.
And later, GHI heads to a 16th century Italian villa to investigate Frankenstein's birthplace.
So you believe behind this wall that there may be bodies? Yes.
Can the team unearth lingering spirits and find out what's lurking at the mansion?
Joe, holy oh my God.
As an ominous corpse risen from the dead.
There was somebody standing right there.
Welcome to Belgium, folks, a land famous for its chocolates. Susan's going to give us a download.
Well, guys, we're heading over to investigate the fortress of Antwerp. Now, this was one of the first Belgian fortresses to be attacked by the Germans during World War I. The German army launched over 500 mortar blasts towards the fort, killing many of the Belgian troops. Now, there isn't an exact death toll, but I do know that 75 people were killed during a structure collapse. Their bodies were never pulled out from that wreckage.
So the skeletal remains could possibly still be there.
That's right.
Now, I know one of the things that was brought up was that there were some deaths that took place in the moat surrounding the fort.
Yes. Now, a lot of people are claiming that they're hearing banging as well as disembodied voices. Shadows have been seen throughout the entire fortress, as well as full-bodied apparitions of soldiers.
Wow.
We've been called in by Leontina, whose great-grandfather was stationed at the fortress of Antwerp, and she wants to know if he's at peace since his body was never recovered after the war. So could it be that he was one of the soldiers buried underneath this rubble?
Wow, to know that he potentially could be buried there, that's messed up.
Hopefully, we'll be able to reassure her in some way that her great-grandfather is actually at peace.
Folks, I think that's the fortress in front of us.
Oh, wow. It looks completely forgotten.
There you are. Leontina.
Hi, Leontina. Hi.
Very good to see you.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Hello.
Paul. These are all gas masks as well.
I've never seen so many.
I've called GHI in today because my great-grandfather was actually killed here by German soldiers. There are stories about paranormal activity around here. And my great-grandmother, she was actually worried that his soul or his spirit might not be at rest. So that's actually the question I want answered.
What are some of the stories associated with this fortress?
Well, this fortress was built in late 1800s, and it was used during both world wars as protection for the city of Antwerp.
Now, this place obviously has a very personal connection with you because of the loss of your great-grandfather.
Yeah. My great-grandfather was based out here during the First World War, and he actually died here. There was about 75 soldiers. And they were all together, and then German soldiers bombed the place. The roof fell in, and they were all buried, and the rubble is still there.
What paranormal stories are associated with this fortress?
There were stories of apparitions. There was one apparition of an orange figure of soldiers, and then up there on the roof of this hangar, they saw black shadows as well.
I was with a friend at the fortress, and we wanted to take some pictures. My friend yelled to me because he saw something, sort of black shadows who came toward us. I turned around to come back, but it was if someone was pushing me. But we don't have any explanation for it.
Now, I know you are interested in this place for a very personal reason. I am actually really interested in seeing where it was that you think your great-grandfather passed.
Okay, that's in the right Capiniero. I'll take you there.
Great.
Okay.
How many times have you been here?
It's actually the first time that I come in here, so
This
it
is
feels
the
a bit
first
strange.
time of coming to see where your great-grandfather fell.
Yeah, I've never been in here.
Oh, wow. Wouldn't have stood a chance if they were under that.
That's actually the rubble that came down when they were bombed, I think, by 500 grenades.
500?
And there must be around 70, 75 bodies buried under there, so, yeah. It's given me a bit of goosebumps, really. Yeah. I've heard a lot of stories about it, but being here, it makes me, a bit creepy, really. Yeah. Just the idea that he could be buried under there, it's,
Emotional.
Yeah.
I don't remember you telling us his name.
His name's Alphonse.
Alphonse. Okay.
Bogart, yeah.
What type of activity is also happening here, along with the memories, of course, of what you have here?
Well, apparently, up there on the outside rubble, there was a gun position, and you can still see the rim. And some dark figures or shadows were seen up there. But if you want to investigate, I think you best go on the outside. It's overgrown.
Now, I know one of the stories we heard was that 2 apparitions were seen in this room.
One had a uniform from World War I, and the other one had a uniform from World War II, so yeah.
I hear the voice. It was a voice in Dutch saying, laat dat, eh? Leave that. I believe soldiers that died over here are haunting the fortress.
What would you like us to do here?
Obviously, I never met him, but I had a really good connection with my grandfather, and it was very important to him. He was really worried that they were not able to bury him. Just didn't know that he was at rest, so basically I'm doing this for him, really.
We will try our utmost to find out if we can make some type of contact with him.
We will do whatever we can.
Okay, thanks.
This case is a little different because we're actually going in looking for a family member. Leontina asked us to come in here and look for her great-grandfather, Alphonse Bogart. She wants to make sure that he's not here, that he is at rest. I can see why she wants to get some answers out of this.
So, Paul, the equipment setup, how's everything going?
What I've basically been using is my mini DVR systems. I've hooked those up to the cameras, and as we go out to the locations, we'll be setting those up. I mean, obviously, we're going to be concentrating a lot more on our handhelds. Other than that, we are pretty much ready to go.
Everybody collect your things and let's get going. All right. Okay.
Okay. Can you imagine wandering around in here knowing that your great-grandfather could be buried somewhere?
This is the place where, when the Germans invaded during World War I, 70-plus soldiers were crushed to death. Their bodies are still there. And Leontina Bogart's great-grandfather died during this German invasion. And some visitors to the site were seeing apparitions in there.
Hello?
Monsieur Bogart, are you able to step forward to us and give us a sign for your great-granddaughter? Chris and I started to hear what sounded like voices. It seemed to be in the distance somewhere. Hello? What the hell was that? Did you see that?
Yes.
You seen that light move to the left?
Yes. That doesn't make any sense.
No, it does not. Something very, very strange happened. There was this unusual light that appeared, and both of us were able to see it.
It was like right over here.
The light was actually emanating inside the room that we were in and not coming from outside. If it was you who was responsible for producing that light, can you step forward to us again? It's going to be interesting to see if Mr. Bogart has come forward to let us know that he's there so that we can pass that message along. Okay.
Jeez.
Look at this.
Paul and I headed over towards the hangar. One of the claims is that a shadow figure has been seen on top of the hangar. I understand that many people have died here in this fortress. The war is over, so why choose to stay here? You can move one of these canisters or gas masks. You could show yourself.
It's over there. Okay, on the off chance that whoever's trying to get our attention is Alphonse, what the right there.
You weren't moving, were you?
No, I was not. I was still. That was right here. Alphonse, is that you?
Alphonse Bogart. Holy crap. Something just pulled on my flashlight.
Come on, who's here? Alphonse, is that you?
Paul and I were inside the hangar, and just as we started to ask questions about Mr. Bogart, it seemed like we started getting immediate responses. Something just pulled on my flashlight. My flashlight was tugged very hard, almost came out of my hand. It did it once, and I was like, it's maybe me, and then it did it twice harder, and I was like, holy something just pulled on my flashlight. Twice.
Who's in here with us?
All right, so this is the sinkhole. There's like 75 soldiers buried here somewhere.
Still?
Still.
Damn.
Their bodies were never recovered. People have seen what looked like spirits or something.
Okay.
Scott and I were investigating the sinkhole. We're very hopeful that we'll be able to find some answers for Leontina about her great-grandfather.
Do you want anyone to visit you? Do you want anyone to pay respects? What the hell was that? Did you hear that?
I did.
What the hell was that? Hello?
If you're up here, we need to know that you're here and you can see us and hear us. You and your fallen comrades should be commended. Wow, my head's tingling.
You all right?
Yeah, I feel a little off balance. Is that it? Did I touch on the subject? I'm feeling a little uneasy and unbalanced.
Really?
I want to step away for a minute. No, I just want to step away for a minute.
You all right?
Yeah, it just came over me. Like, I just got this really sad feeling, and I almost wanted to, like, felt like I wanted to cry.
I mean, the place does that in general, but if you said that all of a sudden something came over you, then that's not necessarily a good thing.
Let me hold the camera a minute.
Yeah, man.
Thanks. We were doing an EVP session when all of a sudden I got this overwhelming feeling of sadness. I tried shrugging it off, and it was hard to shrug off, so much so that I actually broke down in tears. And it took me a while to compose myself. Oh, it's really hard to shake.
That's what I'm saying. Are you really okay?
Yeah.
Alphonse, I'm going to need for you to come forward, mate. If you can just come forward, show yourself.
I'm gonna check out the...
Whoa.
What was that? Did you hear that?
What was that?
All of a sudden, both Paul and myself heard this disembodied voice. So when we went to go investigate it, it sounded like a male voice.
It was a male voice. Almost saying hello.
I heard hello as well. I heard hello. Did you hear that?
It was a very
deeper.
Very deep, yeah.
Hello? I saw something up here. It was like a black mass. It was like right around here.
No, there's a report of a shadow on the top of this building.
I noticed what looked like a black mass hovering just about 10 feet over my head. It was there for a second. By the time I moved my camera over there, it just dissipated into thin air. What the hell was that dark mass?
I don't know.
Okay, so possibly you just showed yourself to me. Can you come closer?
What the hell is that? Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. I just saw a light. It was like almost someone running away. I actually saw this light, which seemed to sort of trail off almost as soon as I approached. Came out here, and as soon as I did this, it's like it saw my light and ran off. You know what? I don't know who that was. It looked like somebody was running away, and I don't know. There seemed to be a lot of really weird stuff going on. But we had the mini DV, we had the still photography going. So let's see if something comes out in analysis.
Joe and Scott, investigation. Right cap in there.
Oh, this is the cave-in portion. It collapsed, and they said that there's remains underneath all this rubble.
That is horrible. It's really unsettling to know that people died around here, and then you come in, and it just looks like they didn't bother to actually try to retrieve these people.
Supposedly, they've seen 2 apparitions, but from separate eras. One's from World War I, one was from World War II.
Well, Joe and I are investigating the Wright Caponier area. We were checking up on claims of apparitions that had been seen. So we set up the E-pods and the laser grid. We were trying to see if we could capture anything roaming the area. We've given you a lot of ways to communicate with us. We have lights here. If you walk in front of any of the lights, we'll be able to track your movement and know where you are. Please come forward. What the hell was that? Did you see that? I don't know what that was. I saw it one time. Kind of like a light green, and it just looked like it went like this.
Wow.
I suddenly saw what looked like the tail end of a comet. It was a green flash. It was a mist, and it made almost like a C shape.
Did my friend Scott just see you? Scream as loud as you can. Say something.
I just saw it again. I just saw it again.
Did my friend Scott just see you?
Joe and I were investigating the Wright Caponier. It collapsed years ago, trapping many people underneath, and they had yet to have been retrieved.
Scream as loud as you can. Say something.
I just saw it again. I just saw it again.
Did you?
I just saw it again. Oh, it's right here. I saw another flash of what I saw earlier. There was definitely something going on there. I do not know what it was. It was about right here. It was about right there, and it didn't last as long, and it didn't curve, just like a flash. Right in that corner.
My friend Scott is able to see that light. If you're trying to come through, let me see it.
There's no window over there or anything, right?
Nothing.
That's weird. I don't know what the hell that was.
We know that there were some people buried here, lost their lives. For that, we're sorry. But if there's some way you can try to come through and talk with us, please do so. Is there anybody from World War I? World War II? Is your name Alphonse Bogart? We know it was horrible the way you died. But again, we can communicate that to the people that may need your message.
I'm just really surprised they go to the extreme of putting barbed wire in a river.
With the advance of the Germans, you took all precautions necessary to make sure they weren't getting in. Chris and I were paddling around on the moat of Antwerp Fortress. It was one place, of course, that wasn't on the tour, but it doesn't mean to say that the spirits won't reside in there. EVP session, Barry and Chris, water microphone and air. We were using a waterproof microphone in the water, and then we were using the air microphone outside to see if we could try and make any sort of connection with anything that may still linger. Je m'appelle Barry. Parlez-vous anglais? Guten Tag, wie geht's? If there are any spirits here, we need your assistance to try and help us find Alphonse Bogart, who was a soldier who allegedly died here during World War I.
Is there anybody here?
What is that in front of us?
Oh, I don't know about this.
We might need to duck down.
Oh my God, Barry! Barry! Are you okay?
Yep.
Sure enough, just when we thought we were in the clear, the back end near Barry catches, and we're stuck. Barry!
We're okay. There we go. Where am I?
I don't know what he did to get us loose, but luckily he did, because the last thing I wanted to do was end up in the water tonight. That was so bad.
I think we've had a great investigation. Let's get packed up.
Copy that.
We just concluded our investigation here at the Fortress of Antwerp. Leontina, the great-granddaughter of Alphonse Bogart, is asking the question, is Alphonse Bogart here? Is his spirit still here? Is he able to communicate and give us the information that we require?
So we're now just about to go into analysis for the Fortress of Antwerp. And it was a tough investigation. We had a lot of areas to cover, and we got a lot of footage coming from that. We're going to try and discover whether or not Leontina's great-grandfather really is at the fortress, or whether or not his spirit is in fact laid to rest. So I know we all had our challenges, we all had our experiences at the Fortress of Antwerp. Yeah. And I think for Susan and I, the hangar really was maybe the pinnacle point of the investigation. It seems like there was a lot of stuff going on in that one area. For us.
When you said you heard what sounded like one of the canister lids being thrown or tossed or whatever.
Right, and you've got that?
It's very loud. You don't even need headphones for this.
On the off chance that whoever's trying to get our attention is Alphonse. It was very, very loud.
And that close to you?
It was that, I mean, it was there on the floor right next to us. But it did happen at the same time as I started referring to Alphonse, which is obviously the great-grandfather that we're looking for.
All right, guys, I want you to take a look at this. This is from the full-spectrum camera in the right caponiere.
Right.
Joe and Scott would find this particularly interesting, being that this might answer a few questions. Now, what we're looking for are these strange light anomalies that seem to appear over here in this corner. You'll see it appear right there.
Oh, yeah. It looks like it's got a little bit of a tail.
Now, Barry also saw lights in there, so maybe it might explain what he was seeing as well. So we'll get their take, because it's very interesting.
I want you to take a listen to this. This is when Paul and I were investigating in the hangar. We heard that disembodied voice speak to us.
Wow.
You want to take a listen?
Yeah. Whoa.
What was that?
Oh, wow.
No doubt that this was a very, very personal case, especially to you.
Yeah.
You know, your great-grandfather is supposed to have died here, and in pretty bad circumstances.
Yeah.
We put our hearts and minds into it to try and get you answers. And, of course, we're going to show you some of the results that we have here.
Already getting goosebumps.
Scott and Joe were in the right caponiere, and they had witnessed this unusual light that appeared in front of them. What you're going to be looking for, it appears over on this side. Now, Scott, of course, he had said that he had seen this small green ball of light appear with almost like a tail. And we can see in that footage that this one appeared almost with a slight tail as well. And the big mystery is, of course, what truly are these?
What are they? Yeah.
So Paul and Susan were investigating in the hangar. They heard something right near them that startled them.
Okay.
On the off chance that whoever's trying to get our attention is Alphonse.
Yeah, it was like something was dropped or, yeah.
Shortly after they caught this, they heard what sounds like a voice.
We'll let you have a listen to that and see if you can spot it.
Whoa.
What was that?
It sounded more like hay or something.
They went and investigated. They were looking for whoever was possibly there, and there was no one. We didn't get a response from Alphonse Bogart. We were getting responses, though, but a lot of the activity seemed to be around the hangar.
There's going to be some comfort in the fact that we didn't connect with them, because I would think, you know, dying like that, the last thing I'd want was my family still stuck here.
Yeah, that's true. So actually it's good that they didn't respond. Okay.
We were very, very happy that we were able to come through here and help you in this task. We don't believe that Alphonse Bogart, his spirit is in the fortress.
There were enough experiences in the hangar, and there was enough evidence to back up what was going on there, that we can't deny that there is paranormal activity here at the fort.
The things I've seen and heard here especially are quite interesting and quite convinced me.
Thank you for inviting us here and allowing us the opportunity to work with you on this emotional trial.
It's very good for me. Well, now that GHI has revealed their findings, I feel quite relieved, because they haven't been really able to come in contact with my great-grandfather, Alphonse Bogart, so they weren't able to find his ghost in distress, so I'm very happy that I called in their help.
It was a very emotional case. I was very happy the fact that we were able to bring her some peace of mind.
But I mean, we really have no reason to believe that he's there.
No.
Which is good.
Yeah. Well, let's get back, pick them up, and move on to our next country.
Sounds good.
Hey folks, welcome to the Tuscany region of Italy. We have a great case coming up, and Susan is going to give us the download on what to expect.
Well, team, we are heading over to investigate Villa di Cogliano. It's been in our client's family since the 16th century, and the owner of the villa and our client, Agostino, has called us in to explain the paranormal activity that's been going on there. And he wants to know whether or not the villa is haunted by his ancestor, Teresa Scholastica, or maybe there's a much darker haunting. Underneath his villa are what Agostino believes to be these old Roman catacombs, where he speculates the famed author Mary Shelley conducted electrical shock experimentations on cadavers there. She was doing this because she was looking for some material for her novel Frankenstein.
Wow, Mary Shelley and Frankenstein.
So now, what kind of activities happening there, Susie?
People staying at the villa have actually reported seeing Teresa's apparition, and they heard what sounds like a woman's voice.
Wow.
Yeah, that's cool.
Agostino called us in to help him understand whether or not the paranormal activity going on in the house relates to the secrets that are hidden in these tombs and tunnels underground.
Okay, folks, I think this is it.
Oh, wow.
Agostino.
Oh, hi.
Good to see you finally.
Agostino Agostini, welcome to Villa di Cogliano. I call Ghost Hunters International because I would like to know something about the paranormal activities in Cogliano. Many guests told us about Teresa Scholastica or other ghosts present in the villa.
What can you tell us about the history of this place?
There's a story about this ghost named Teresa Scholastica. She died here in 1816. She loved the villa so much that she never left.
You're saying there's a lot of stories of Teresa. Where did they happen?
Here there was a chandelier. My uncle heard a terrible noise, like the chandelier fall down on the floor. When he arrives inside the bar room, everything was right. The chandelier was on the wall, but one of the two chandeliers was broken. My uncle believed that Teresa was responsible.
Where else has she been seen?
Downstairs in the canteen and in the main floor, this level, and upstairs, many guests of the villa heard Teresa speaking.
Now, what can you tell us about Mary Shelley? We understand she was good friends with Teresa and would come here to visit.
Here, downstairs on the catacomb, the legend was that inside Mary Shelley attends to galvanist experiments. And some people said that the Frankenstein is a diary of experiments on the human bodies.
Is it possible that we can maybe see these catacombs?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, after you.
We go, thank you. This is a low level of the villa. Probably this part of the villa was used by Mary Shelley for galvanist experiments. If you look, there is many rooms that are covered by the concrete. We do not know when and why they have covered the rooms. We have tried to open the concrete because I am very curious and I would like to see what there is behind.
So you believe behind this wall, possibly, that there may be bodies?
Yes.
Now, how would you feel if we were able to drill through this?
I do not know if you drill what you can discover.
So do you believe that possibly if there's tunnels or catacombs behind this, that they're possibly connected to the other tunnel systems that are outside in the garden?
Yes, I believe. The story is that there is some secret passage inside the cave behind the villa that nobody knows exactly what happens in the past in this cave.
We'd like to thank you for showing us around the villa, and we will see you in a few days with the results of our investigation.
Thank you very much. We go.
We just finished the tour of the Villa di Corleano here in Italy. There is a spirit which is known as Teresa, yet there seems to be something else underlying within the villa. Were the experiments that Mary Shelley were carrying out here at the villa possibly something which was connected to some paranormal activity?
Okay, Scotty, I need that camera turned somewhat to the left.
There's a lot of chambers here at the villa that Agostino still has no idea what's behind, and that's what he has asked us to do, find out what's behind those chambers.
Okay, so I think this is the kitchen area, and the reports down here is that they hear voices.
Okay. Hello?
Are you here, Teresa?
Did you know Mary Shelley? Were you aware of all the electrocution to bring back the dead?
What was that?
Where'd that come from?
It came from in here.
Hello?
While we were investigating the kitchen area, we heard what sounded like footsteps. Are you perhaps the lady of the house?
Oh, this place. What?
Felt like something touched me. Something just touched me. I don't see any spider webs.
There's nothing here. Are you with us? Are you trying to get my friend Joe's attention? Joe!
What?
Holy
What?
Holy oh my God, oh my God. Are you with us? Are you trying to get my friend Joe's attention? Joe and I were investigating the wine area / kitchen in a Villa di Corleano. Joe!
What?
Holy
What?
Holy oh my God, oh my God.
What? Don't close the door.
Oh my
What?
God, there was somebody standing right there. There was a white figure right there and the back was to me. That can scared the out of me right
That's why
there.
you shouldn't go wandering by yourself.
That was like maybe about this high. It was not that tall. It was just right there and it was just kind of swaying. By the dryer, I saw what could only be described as a partial apparition. I don't know what the hell that was.
Hey, Barry, Scott just had a real scare down in the kitchen area where he saw this white shadowy thing in the laundry room.
Do you think you've got it on camera?
No, we were in the kitchen looking around. He happened to peek in the laundry room, and that's when he saw it.
Okay, Joe, keep working with that. See if you can get any communication from it.
Copy.
That's pretty badass if that's for real.
Please readdress any spirits that may be lingering. Who is it that my friend Scott saw? Can you tell us your name? Does the name Mary Shelley mean anything to you?
Hey, guys.
Hey.
What did you see?
I do not know what the hell it was. I didn't mistake anything here for it.
I thought maybe that striped.
But I know what I saw. I mean, you can tell if you see something standing like this. It kind of was like this. Don't know what the hell it was.
So how much higher than the dryer was it?
I was trying to estimate. It was definitely between here and here. I know that's not a big help, but it was probably maybe 5 feet tall.
Okay, the only reason
4 3/4 feet tall.
The reason why I ask is when we're upstairs in the ballroom, we're looking out.
Something just actually touched my ear there.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's what's
things
been
are
going
touching
on
you
in
in
here.
here.
I'm telling you, there has been weird stuff going on in here since we got in here.
Pretty active.
You were listening to Scott and Joe tell us the story of seeing this apparition with something. It seemed to touch my ear on the left-hand side. It was more just like a rub on the side of the ear, but I didn't see anything. So we continued with our investigation of that part.
So
this is the ballroom.
So I mean, the main claims in here are the chandeliers that are no longer here, sounding like they dropped.
Teresa,
Did you see that?
I've been thinking that I've been seeing something moving over there, straight ahead of us.
Right in the doorway.
Yeah. Did you observe Mary Shelley conduct experiments here at the villa? Here, wait a minute. Did you hear that?
If there were more of them, I would have thought like footsteps, like the hard heel on your shoe.
Yeah. It sounded like just a one footstep within the main ballroom area. Weren't sure if it was coming from up atop or whether it was down below. But both Chris and I had heard it. It may be that Teresa was trying to bring forward a message to something. I just seen a shadow move there again.
I'm telling you, I saw something over that doorway. I was looking down the end of the ballroom, and it looked like there was a shadow that passed by the door. A few minutes later, Barry ended up seeing it, and he described the same thing, this dark, small shadow. So I'm not really sure what's going on in that room, but I do know what I saw, and I'm hoping I might have caught it on my camera.
If I understand right, there were no specific claims here?
No.
It's just
the story of Mary Shelley and their experiments.
Yeah. And it's possible that there's still bodies that are entombed here.
Initially, I was intrigued to find out what was behind these walls down here in the catacombs. There's theory here that there may very well be a treasure or even bodies or something, so I got a drill to dig and find out if there really is something behind this wall. Now, before we begin, you're going to need these. I figure this whole mummy's curse thing, you know, when you burst into
a sealed chamber, when you first get in there, gases can escape.
Right. Now, one of the things I was concerned of is if we do happen to break through and there were bodies behind this wall, we could very well endanger ourselves with some sort of chemical that could be very hazardous to us. I find it's better to prepare yourself for anything. Okay. Now, as I said, we're already quite a way in, but we need to just keep working our way in.
See this small hole there? This is one of the small tunnels. So I'm going to try and squeeze through this one. We have another larger chamber at the top that we're going to have to rappel into. Agostino told us about 2 caves at the back of the villa, which he speculated may have housed dead bodies. So we wanted to descend down in there and drill through and see if we could answer those questions for him. Chris went down into the larger chamber with ropes, and I went in through the smaller entranceway into the smaller chambers. Both Chris and I worked together to try and establish where she should be drilling from, and once that was done, then I climbed back out again and lowered Susan down into the chamber.
Done yet?
Nice and steady. Paul, Scott, and Joe are already in the catacombs underneath the villa, drilling as we speak.
Just let me know when you're at the bottom.
I'm there.
Okay.
That's it.
Really?
Push in as well.
What was that?
What the hell was it?
That's it.
Really?
Push in as well.
What was that?
What the hell was it? While we were in the chamber trying to break through the wall, we heard what sounded like something dropping or something metal. What the hell was that noise?
I don't see anything back there. Is there anybody there?
We went and looked. It was further down the catacomb itself, and we were not able to track that down. We did have a DV camera running with us, and we'll see what we were able to capture.
Oh, I think we got it.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Just, that is cutting through. I think it's safe to say that this is just all dirt all the way back.
We got pretty deep.
Yeah.
We got deep enough to determine that there's not a brick wall there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to grab my camera and let's see if the others are finished.
Can you see that much?
I see you.
So it just leads to the other chamber, huh?
Yeah, it's straight through it, and there's nothing in the middle. There's no hollow ground. There's no bodies or anything. Okay, right. Okay, guys, let's get everything wrapped up.
All right, you want to get everything back in this bag?
We just finished our investigation of the Villa de Corleano, and the big questions obviously are, is there anything here? Does it have anything to do with human experimentation in the catacombs? Or is it Teresa, this woman they believe used to live here and is still haunting the place?
Agostino, thank you for meeting us again.
Pleased to meet you here in Corleano.
Over the course of the investigation, we did go looking for this elusive spirit, Teresa.
And during our investigation, we started having some things happen.
Now, Joe and Scott were investigating adjacent to the cantina area. Scott went into the laundry room and he was shocked to see something standing there. The legs were invisible, but he was able to see the shoulders, and he immediately went out and got Joe. But whatever was there that Scott had seen had vanished.
Behind the laundry originally was the entrance of the villa in the cantina.
Oh.
And it could be that she passed through the wall because this is a passage that she knows.
Which would make sense for a residual haunt. They would travel the same path they would in life.
Yes.
Now, during Chris and I's investigation here in the ballroom, we were continually trying to reach out for Teresa. And we want to let you hear what we heard.
Okay. It seemed a foot was moving on the ballroom. Very evident.
Yeah.
So now one of the areas you wanted us to check out was the caves. Mary went into the smaller cave, and then Susan and I were lowered down into the other cave, and we drilled right through the wall.
Yes, okay.
Can you see that much? Let me
I
see.
see you.
Hey! Oh, sorry. Now, if you look at this, you can tell there's no separation between the two walls. So we didn't find any bodies.
No bodies.
No.
There was nothing really that indicated that there was anything hidden. This brings us to the catacombs underneath the villa. We took a look, and that earth was pretty compact. There was nothing getting through to the other side.
I am surprised that you do not find any rooms and any passage.
We didn't find anything there to really concern us.
We know that there may have been experiments by Mary Shelley as she came through Italy, but we don't see any threat for anyone coming to stay at the villa. And we wish you the very best of luck.
Okay,
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. I am very happy about the Ghost Hunters International investigation, because now I feel very relaxed. I believe nothing of bad is inside the villa, no bodies in the cave and the catacombs. Now our guest can be very relaxed to stay here in the villa.
I think Agostino was relieved in what we were giving him.
As far as Teresa's concerned, there's no solid proof that she was there.
Yeah, Teresa isn't a threat to anyone going to stay in the villa.
Yeah.
And so that in itself will settle his mind, and of course the guests that are staying there at the villa.
Of course.
Well, let's get back, pick up the rest of GHI and hit the road.
Sounds good.